Hello again, and welcome to D.A.D Network's AI Tunes, where the AI might enslave us all in the end, but for now, we're having it make us some cool music. I'm your host, Next Gen Nate, and I really am very happy that you're here. And in this episode, we are going to look at a song that is not part of the Fall of Jezebel series. Actually, I'm excited to let you guys know I have another series that I'm going to be doing after this one. There's going to be some songs that are kind of just standalones, and there's going to be songs that are part of these series. The other series is going to be called the Fan Base, or Fandom series, sorry. And you'll see why when we get there. But for today, we're going to be dealing with a song that is inspired by something personal to me. I have a love of thunderstorms, and I've had experiences, personal experiences, they're a little anecdotal, but personal experiences of how storms have actually spoken to me in conjunction with my spiritual life, if that makes sense. That they have been used as what I believe are symbols and representations of things that I believe God has wanted to share with me. Now, I'm not going to get into those stories because there's multiple times that I felt like that has been the case. But that's a personal thing to me. I would say on a more basic level, my love of thunderstorms came from my mother, who we lived in a certain part of Texas where it was very flat. And so when storms would roll in, you could see them, you could watch them, you could watch the lightning, the wind, and we would sit and watch storms roll in. And I don't know. I really came to love storms. Obviously, there's a point, especially if you live in Texas, where a storm stops being cool and interesting and starts being a risk and a problem. Don't like that. I actually had the thought when I was younger, I might want to be a storm chaser, a tornado chaser. And I started really thought about it. I was like, I like storms. I don't like tornadoes. So, a little bit as to where the inspiration for this song came from. And before we get into the song, I've been made aware that there are those who may not know how to use the Discord I talked about in the last episode of the series. So I'm going to show you how to do that if you don't know. And this is one of the songs that had a better version, in my opinion, in previous iterations before I actually purchased the subscription. And one thing you might want to consider is, I believe the version of the program is 5.5 is what they're calling it. I found that sometimes it's actually nicer to put it in, I think it was 4.5 or something like that, all. And it actually comes out with a unique sound. So if you're wanting to kind of mix it up with your ideas, try both versions. It gives you the option to do that. You don't get access to 5.5 without a subscription. And it does do things that are really cool, but you'll actually get a slightly different flavor if you'll use older versions. So if you're kind of wanting to mix it up, get more options for what you're trying to create, maybe consider doing that. We're going to lead with a version of this song that I thought was interesting, so I kept it. And then we're going to end with a song that gets closest to what I was trying to have it be before, what you're going to find at the Discord. But before, like I said, before we get into the song, let me show you real quick. Let's see. Slide this over. Check something real fast. Yes, okay. So, what you're going to want to do is, under my videos, you'll see this. This is the description area. You're going to want to click More. And under More, you'll find all of my links. And where you want it is Lost Songs Discord link. Oh, sorry. Also, on the phone, if I'm not mistaken, you click More, and then you're going to have to click More again. There's going to be another button for More to get to where you can see this. But yes, if you'll go to this link, this will take you to the Discord where you can actually hear the version I was wanting you guys to hear. Okay, sorry. Let me get some stuff situated over here. sure that, okay, it's doing what I want it to do. So anyway, I don't think any more lead-in is really needed, so we're going to jump right into this. The title of this song is Storms of Glory.
When the sky goes black, I know you're near. You speak in the crack, I feel it here. Stone in my chest, start shaking loose. Every wild roll carries your truth. You ride on the wind, you break through the night. Your voice makes the mountains bow at the light. You are the master of the storm. You are the master of the storm. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. Rain on the fields. Green wakes up slow. Mud in the ditch where the dead roots grow. Lightning burns hot, then feeds the deep. Ash in the dirt makes the harvest leap. You ride on the wind, you break through the night. Your voice makes the mountains bow at the light. You are the master of the storm. You are the master of the storm. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. Let every dark cloud lift up your name. Let every dry place taste that rain. What breaks me open makes me new. What shakes the earth reveals you. You are the master of the storm. You are the master of the storm. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning.
All right, so Storms of Glory. Hope you enjoyed that. And as usual, we're going to go over the lyrics, and then I'll play another version for you. The version that I think is closer to, like I said, what was originally given to me that I would choose. I can't say what I originally intended. What was originally given to me that I was like, that's the one that I would go with. All right. Let's see. Song details. Lyrics. So the lyrics are: when the sky goes black, I know you're near. You speak in the crack, which I think what it's referring to is like a crack of lightning or a crack of thunder. You speak in the crack, I feel it here. Stone in my chest starts shaking loose, which is really interesting because the next song that I end up creating that's going to be just kind of a standalone is one that has to do with hardening your heart, and it talks about a stone in the heart, and I think it's really interesting. I asked it make me a song talking about God speaking through storms, and where it went was the stone in my chest is shaking loose, that his thunder, that his lightning, that what he brings shakes loose that which is stony and hard in us, which that's an excellent addition. Every wild roll carries your truth. And this goes along with, I was basically saying, he speaks through thunder and lightning. You ride on the wind, you break through the night, your voice makes the mountains bow at the light. And to me, this is an allusion to, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you can see mountains move. That there are allusions to this idea of mountains, unmovable, majestic, huge, that even they will bow to God. And so this is basically saying that your voice makes them bow. You are the master of the storm. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning. Now this is really interesting because I gave it a prompt. I didn't give it lyrics, but it took the prompt and made it lyrics. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. And that's part of the prompt. I was like, talk about the fact that rain brings life to the ground, but floods wash away the filth. And it was like, you know what? We're just gonna make that the lyric. Rain brings life to the ground. Flood washes the filth away. Rain on the fields. Green wakes up slow. This is really interesting on a personal level. There's stuff going on in my personal life, in my family's personal life. Things that have, depending on how you look at it, have been on the horizon for years, decades even, especially for my father. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it. Things that, though, that he has felt he's called to, things that he has been working toward, hoping for, looking to God for years and years and years. And a lot of ways we're close, but we're not there. There's a lot still happening. And what's interesting is because of this, and I'm in my own season of that. All these things that I'm doing, if you don't know, if you see this channel, I've got this channel, I've got video gaming channels, I've got two of them. I've got a tabletop RPG channel. I'm trying a whole bunch of different things all at once. It actually takes quite a bit of work. And I'm hoping that all of these things can become something that is entertaining, but also something that opens the door to conversation. And I am a man of faith, that it opens the door for those to actually hear my faith. And my belief is I don't believe my approach needs to be slam the door in your face with what I believe. Instead, invite you in, let you know that we have things in common, interests in common, and then, hey, let's talk, So anyway, there's this feeling of a lot of work being put into things, but it's not here yet. It's taking its time. And my father got something. I'm not going to go into the details, but he got something that basically pointed to this season like a planter when summer hits. That they've done all they can, they've prepared the ground, they've planted the seed, they're watering as much as they can. But beyond that, whether the plant grows or not is outside of their control. It's God's purview to cause the plants to grow, to cause a harvest. And basically this tension, this discomfort in being the farmer in the summer and waiting for the harvest to come. And that this is kind of where we're at. And This is outside. I didn't prompt the song to talk about this. I just said that water brings life. It also cleanses. It's kind of the idea I went with. But it put in here, rain on the fields, green wakes up slow. And I'm sorry, when I saw that, it was like, dude, this is us right now. Green is waking up slow. It's taking its time. And God's timing is perfect. And that's the thing. The song is talking about you are the master of the storms. Just like this, he's the master. The harvest will come in its time, in his perfect time, the way he wants it, not us. We can't yell at the ground. We can't grab the sprout and pull it until it grows. We just have to wait. And once again, I really appreciate that lyric. And I know it's pulling from, as I pointed out before, AI is just kind of humanity concentrate. So it's pulling out of humanity and creating this. But I think it's really interesting that the computer pulled this out. Anyway, mud in the ditch where the dead roots grow, which is basically the point of it brings life. So that's the green, and the filth is the mud where the dead roots grow. And I part of the prompt was lightning burns things if it strikes it, but at the same time, lightning actually, if you look, lightning when it strikes ground enriches the ground, makes it more fertile, makes it more able to grow life. So, lightning burns hot, then feeds the deep, which I think it's interesting. Deep, because scripture there is deep calls to deep. Now it's talking about water in that case, but still. Then feeds the deep. Ash in the dirt makes the harvest leap. So sometimes that which burns things away is that which will cause the harvest to come quicker. So you ride on the wind, you break through the night, your voice makes the mountains bow at the light. You are the master of the storm. You make your glory known in thunder, you make your glory known in lightning. Rain brings life to the ground, floods wash the filth away. Rain brings life to the ground, floods wash the filth away. Let every dark cloud lift up your name. Awesome. And yeah, let your creation, let what you make glorify you, proclaim you. Let every dry place taste that rain. Well, now I think that one's a little more analogous of, we talk about dry places in us. And what this is saying is, reach those places, Lord. Let your water, let that which causes life from you, touch those parts of us that are dry. And this is really interesting, this extrapolation that it did. What breaks me open makes me new. There's the saying, for a seed to bring life, it has to die. The seed has to break open to become new. And I didn't put this as part of the prompt. The fact that it went here, it was like, yeah, that's the right direction. That what God allows to just shake our life, to break through us, to do all this stuff, things that might not be comfortable, might be hard, might be very uncomfortable, that break us open, or that which makes us new. That which he has to cut off, he has to trim, he has to wash off to make us something new. And the things that get washed off, that he wants washed off, aren't always things that we would want washed off. But in his mercy, if you're willing to face the pain of loss, when he says it's time, I just hope you understand it's his mercy. Even if you don't understand it when you're going through it, when you get on the other side, you'll be able to look back and go, that was mercy. So, whatever breaks me open makes me new. What shakes the earth reveals you. Again, this idea of the thunder shaking the earth is what reveals God. His creation speaks of him. And so for the final chorus, you are the master of the storm. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning. Rain brings life to the ground. Flood washes the filth away. Rain brings life to the ground. Flood wash the filth away. Floods wash the filth away. I'm right next to a highway, and there's people with some loud engines. Sorry about that. Washes the filth away. I can't do anything about it too. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning. Admittedly, not the best song that is made for me, but one that I still think is beautiful. And the fact that there's certain topics there that related to my life outside of the prompt that I gave it, and related to the life of my family. That again, we're here. This is what we're dealing with. This is what God has said, but it's stuff that's been happening for decades, at least for my father. He's been waiting for what's coming for most of my life. And I'm, to stamp me with an age, I'm 40 years old. So the good part of 40 years, he's been waiting for this. And we're on the brink. Maybe one day I'll get to tell you about it, tell you what's going on. It's actually some really cool stuff. But that's not what this channel's for. I just think it's really interesting that I believe as much as AI will be used against us, as much as AI will be used for evil, because trust me, it will be. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's where we're going. That's what we do as humans. We abuse these types of things. We use them for bad things, and we get over-reliant. Some would say what I'm doing right now is showing over-reliance. Okay. Like I said, I'm kind of hoping there'll be like water wings for a kid getting in a pool that he's never gotten into before, and I will slowly work my way deeper and deeper to I'm actually getting into the middle of the program itself, tweaking things and making the songs my own, to where I can claim them. It is mine. Right now, I'm not at that stage, but anyway, this is going to be used for evil. Even so, God can speak in anything. God can even speak through the enemy himself. Through Satan. Now, typically, you got to be very careful of that because it's going to be twisted and stilted. But, you know, it talks about in Scripture that he is the accuser of the brethren. Well, we teach sometimes. When the accuser of the brethren comes to you and you feel those feelings of guilt and accusation, the best thing to do is to turn to the enemy and go, thank you for pointing this out to me, so that I may go repent before my God. You don't think the enemy was used by God to speak to you that something needed to change? The enemy has his plans. God has his, and his always outweighs the enemy's. And he uses the enemy just like he uses anyone else. Now, he lets people take their own course. He lets the enemy take his own course. But don't think God doesn't use these things in the hopes of bringing people to where they need to be. Not that he aligns himself with the enemy. That is the key. And I know what I'm getting into is very heady, and hopefully you can understand I'm not saying that God aligns with darkness or evil. He just simply lets evil do its thing because he knows where it's going to go, and because of that, he kind of sits back and laughs at the plans and goes, it's okay. Good. For instance, he let Satan push people to crucify Yeshua. That was Satan's big plan. And the way I put it before, the problem with Satan is he confuses win goals and losing conditions. And you can coin that. I need to make a song out of that. Satan confuses the winning goal and losing conditions. He thought the winning goal was to see the Messiah die. What he did not understand was that was the lost condition for him. God used Satan and Satan's plans and what Satan was going to do to bring forth the most beautiful sacrifice of love ever, that will ever be. So, that. The enemy thinks he's got a plan. But in the end, it all works out toward God. Which I started somewhere with that. But, oh yes. God can speak through AI. And I think there's some things in this song I can't help but look at and go, God, are you bringing some confirmation? Is there some interesting stuff here? And the sense I have gotten is, for my life, God has made the point, I will find all kinds of ways to get your attention. and to try to guide you in a certain direction. Now, be careful. And all these things, you need to know something. And as you listen to me, understand this about me. A life of faith and a life of seeking faith is a life of tension, a life of a tight wire. Test every spirit, but do not blaspheme the Holy Spirit. So don't accept everything, but don't be so closed off that you don't accept what he has. It's this tension, and it's supposed to be. Because if it was cut and dried, as I've put it before, we would grab the rules that were cut and dried, run off and say, God, I don't need you, I've got the rules. God went, no, we're going to make this difficult, we're going to make this a bit hard, because I know that for this to work, I'm going to need you to come wrestle and chew these things out with me, and that's as close as I can get to a hug to you right now. So it's intimacy for God. It's, I want you to have to wrestle with these things, and I want you to wrestle so that you'll come to me, and so that we'll interact, because mostly what I want is interaction with you. So, not cut and dried. You listen to my words, understand. Don't try to say that every single thing is some sort of sign from God. Anything that feels like one, grab, wrestle with it before God. Ask God, seek God, and learn how to hear. When we say hear, for some it's learn how to feel his voice. For others it's learn how to differentiate his voice from the one inside your head. And trust me, you'll get there if you try. I have had experiences where my internal voice versus what I know to be the voice of God were saying two different things. One of the strongest ones was a situation where my emotions were, I was devastated. It was tragedy. I was weeping. And what I was getting was elation from God. That he had a plan and he had somewhere he was going and that he was excited with where he was going. And I knew in that moment, there are two very different entities here. Very different reactions, very different thoughts. His thoughts are not my thoughts, but I am sensing him. And my emotions are mine, and his is his. So understand, it's not this big, glorious voice, thou shalt blah. Although he does that sometimes. It's just rare. Still small voice, as they say. But yes, don't hear everything in AI and go, oh my goodness, it's a sign. If you think it's a sign, go to God, wrestle with it, and see if you get that echo off of him. For me, I kind of think this one is. Do I think everything that this is produced is in there? No, not at all. Anyway, but yeah, that's one of the things I got out of this song. Some interesting stuff, some personal stuff about me. As always, I'm gonna want to hear, what do these lyrics mean to you? What stands out to you? Was there something that I passed over that you're like, no, that has significance beyond what you're saying? I want to see those things in the comments. And it's funny, I had someone comment about how they're tempted to write something very long. And my response was, do it. I don't mind. It's kind of what I want. I want people engaged. Yeah. Well, I think there's enough yapping about it. Let's go on to the next version of the song. Can do.
When the sky goes black, I know you're near. You speak in the crack, I feel it here. Stone in my chest, start shaking loose. Every wild roar carries your truth. You ride on the wind, you break through the night. Your voice makes the mountains bow at the dead roots grow. Lightning burns hot, then feeds the deep. Ash in the dirt makes the harvest leap. You ride on the wind, you break through the night. Your voice makes the mountains bow at the line. You are the master of the storm. You are the master of the storm. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. Let every dark cloud lift up your name. Let every dry place taste that rain. What breaks me open makes me know. What shakes the earth reveals you. You are the master of the storm. You are the master of the storm. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. Rain brings life to the ground. Floods wash the filth away. You make your glory known in thunder. You make your glory known in lightning.
All right. So that's my preferred version. I want to hear which one of those that you like better. Put that down in the comments. Another confusion. Someone commented on I post like the videos with the lyrics. I want to see you tell me which one you liked in the comments on this video, not those videos. This video. So if you'll do that for me, that would be great. I was reminded of something as I was listening. Another cool thing that I see is kind of spiritually cool. Again, to me, I've been through some stuff in life, and what was weird is during that time, some really freak storms were happening around that time, and it's almost like I would pray and the thunder would respond. And I know that sounds weird and that sounds hippy-dippy, but during that season, that's how it was happening. And that's how what I was experiencing. I would speak and I would ask questions, and the thunder would respond. Not that it was words; it was like affirmatives to questions, and it was heavy. It was warrior-like. It was like there was a fight going on in the heavens, and it was actually really awesome in its own way. So, the night that I started messing with this program, the night that I decided, you know what, I want to make this channel dealing with this. I had made this song, or I had commissioned of this program to make this song. Let me put it that way. I have a friend who does say, he's like, no, you made it. Computers cannot inspire. You inspired it, therefore you made it. I kind of agree. I like the sentiment, but I still don't feel comfortable saying I made it. But that night, a storm rolled in. When I decided to do this, when I decided to do this channel, a storm rolled in. And I watch storms. That's one of the things I do. Where I live right now doesn't always provide the best place to watch the lightning happen. When I tell you I had one of the best seats in the house that night, I haven't seen a light show in the clouds like that in years. like I said, when I was young, when you could see it without a bunch of trees and stuff in the way. Where I live, it's very forested, so it's not always easy to see anymore. The flatter areas of Texas, a lot easier to watch. But it seemed like I was just exactly in the right spot to watch, and I mean like spider web, intricate, interesting light show, cloud to cloud lightning that was beautiful and like I said, intricate in its form. A thing that had like a node with three fingers of lightning going to 3 different spots at once to kind of give you an idea. Anyway, I'm watching the storm roll in. I'm listening to this music that has just been created by this program, including this one, and I have to say, it's like the lightning was a light show to the rhythm of this song. And as I was listening to the one that sounds like what I want, you'll see on the Discord, I remembered that. I remembered, that's right. The lightning itself seemed to respond to the music. And I know, again, that sounds so fanciful and so hippie of me. But all I can tell you is what I experienced. And it was awesome. And again, I've watched just about every major storm that has come through my area over the last couple of years. This one, the lightning strikes that I could see were so clear and crisp and definite. It was awesome. So anyway, just wanted to share that. I thought that was really cool. Again, pardon me. It took a prompt of mine, added the lyrics. Can we say that those are my lyrics? About the rain brings life to the ground, floods wash the filth away. That was my prompt. It took that, made lyrics out of it. The lyric I had was, you speak in lightning, or you speak in thunder, you speak in lightning. So again, can I really claim this? No. I will say, by playing with this, because I've had this thing produce so many songs, I got plenty to work with, and I got plenty more ideas, and I'm gonna have plenty for a channel for quite some time. I have noticed there are certain sounds, certain arrangements that it likes that will kind of like, that sounds a lot like that one over there. So do know that. There are also some lyrics that it tends to, if you can put the word name in there, it tends to. If you can put the word rust in there, it really likes the word rust. Don't know why, it just really does. So there are some things that it's got a bit of a personality. It has certain things that it tends toward. Especially if you deal in a particular genre, you'll start to kind of hear a bit of a, that's an awful lot like that other song. And this is the limitation of it. This is why it's better for, or I'm having fun with this, but the idea is eventually leaving this. This is training wheels. This is playing with the tricycle. I'm playing with the tricycle right now. So, anyway. But because I don't have that, if you're inspired to take this and do a cover of it, have at it. All I ask is shout out the channel and send me a link to your work so I can hear it or see it or whatever. And understand, I'm not saying necessarily like copy this. If you're inspired by it, if you take it and do something a little different, that's kind of the idea that I'm thinking. Something similar, but not exactly the same. I hope you understand. But anyway. Alright, well, that was Storms of Glory. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about me and how it made me feel. Again, I want to hear from you guys in the comments. But until we have something else to listen to, which we have a lot to listen to, until I'm ready to film another one, I guess is a better way to put it, I'll see you then.